Namaste children, how are you all? I hope you are fine. Welcome to the math class. Children, I am going to start today a new chapter which is ratio in direct and inverse proportion. Direct and inverse proportion. Children, last class we learned about mensuration, how to find LSA, TSA, value of different solid figures. And what we are going to learn in this direct and inverse proportion, let's see today class. Here, in this chapter, we are going to learn about what is a ratio and what is meant by proportion, what is meant by direct proportion, and what is meant by inverse proportion. And also we can see some applications based on the direct and inverse proportion. So we'll start the class with ratio concept. Already we learned in previous class. Let me recall once what is meant by ratio. The comparison of two quantities by division method is called ratio. So when you compare the two quantities by division method, it is called ratio. Generally we used to compare difference method, but here we are comparing by division method. So when we compare the quantities by division method, it is called ratio. And keep in mind that when you are comparing the two quantities, those two quantities should have the same units. I mean, if the first quantity in terms of kilometer, second quantity also in terms of kilometer, they both must have the same units. If not, we'll make them to same units, then we find the ratio. Example, you can see better how we can compare the quantities by division method. Example, suppose Rahul's salary is, he said suppose 10,000 rupees, and Sarita's salary is, what is Sarita's salary? You know, Sarita's salary is 20,000 rupees. Sarita's salary is 20,000 rupees. Now if I want to compare the salary of both Rahul and Sarita, how can I compare? You can see here. First, let me compare the salaries of Rahul to Sarita. So how can I compare? I said comparison is nothing but comparison. Ratio is nothing but comparison by division method. So by division method, I am going to compare the salaries of both Rahul and Sarita. So we compare here first 3 zeros cancel, 1 0 cancel is equal to 1 by 2 I got. And let us compare the salaries of Sarita to Rahul. Sarita to Rahul. So first we have Sarita here. Let us write Sarita's salary first. 20,000 by 10,000. Simplify better here. Yes, I got here 2 by 1 which means 2. So how can we express the conclusion here? Here we can say that Rahul's salary is half of Sarita's salary, and Sarita's salary is 2 times of Rahul's salary. You can see that Sarita's salary is 2 times of Rahul's salary, correct? 20,000 is 2 times of 10,000, and Rahul's salary is 10,000 is half of 20,000. So like that we can compare the quantities by division method, which is called ratio. Now we can express in ratio like 1 by 2 we can express 1:2, and 2 by 1 we can express like 2:1. This is the symbol of ratio, and we can read as E:2, symbol of ratio. And also I said that both the quantities must be same units. You can see one more example better. Suppose if they are asking find the ratio of 5 centimeter to 2 meter. I said both the quantities must be same units, but here the quantities are different units, centimeter, meter. So when we have different units, we make them to same units, then you can find the ratio. So we know the relation between meter and centimeter. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. Now we can express both in terms of same. So I want to express both in terms of centimeter. 2 meter will gives us 200 centimeter. Now centimeter, both are same units. After getting the same units, you can go with comparison by division method. I mean ratio. 5 centimeter by 200 centimeter. Centimeter cancel. 5 1s are 5 4s are 20. 5 0 0. So 1 by 40 we can write 1 is to 40. Like that you can find the ratio, compare the quantities by division method. If they have different units, you make them the same units, then you can compare by division method. And here the important key point is there are no units for ratio. This is about the ratio. Let's see about proportion. What is mean by the word proportion? Children, let's see what is mean by proportion. Proportion nothing but when two ratios are equal, their terms are said to be in proportion. The equality of two ratios. Just now I said comparison of quantities by division method is called ratio. So when you compare the two ratios, if those two ratios are equal, then the terms of those two ratios are in proportion. Example, A by B, C by D. We are comparing two quantities by division method and two more quantities by division method. If the two ratios are equal, then we can say that the terms involved in the ratio A, B, C, D are in proportion. And how can we write the proportion? Can be written as A is to B is proportion to C is to D. And these four dots we can use symbol of proportion, and we can read as is proportional to. A is to B is proportional to C is to D. It means the ratio of A is to B equal to ratio of C is to D. If two ratios are equal, then we can say that they are in proportion. Let's see one example about proportion here. Let me take one example here. Suppose 5, 4, 15, 12. Here they give 4 terms and asking verify these 4 terms are in proportion or not. So how can I verify? We'll find the ratio of first two terms. Again we find the ratio of next two terms. How can we find the ratio of 5 and 4? Comparison by division method. 5, 4. What is the common factor? No common factor other than 1. So the ratio is 5 is to 4. Again you can find the ratio of the remaining two terms. 15 by 12. 5 3 is 15. Sorry. 3 5 is 15. 3 4 is 12. 3 is the common factor. 3 5 is 15. 3 4 is 12. 5 by 4. No common factor except 1 now. You can write the 5 ratio 5 is to 4. Yes. Now equality of two ratios. These two ratios are equal. Now what we can say? 5, 4, 15, 12. These are the four terms which are in proportion. Yes. Then we can say that 5, 4, 15, 12 are in proportion. They are in proportion. The reason equal two ratios are equal. Hope it is clear. The equality of two ratios is called proportion. Children, let's see about what is mean by direct proportion. I said proportion is nothing but equality of two ratios. Now when the proportion is called direct proportion, let us see with the help of example. So let me take one example over here. Yes, I am taking here sugar. Weight of sugar I am taking here. Weight of sugar I am taking in terms of kg. I am taking here cost of 1 kg sugar. Sorry, we will take cost of sugar. We will take here cost of the sugar. Suppose if I purchase 1 kg sugar, the cost I am taking rupees better. The cost is 40 rupees. If I purchase 3 kg of sugar, I have to pay 120 rupees. If I purchase 5 kg of rupees, I have to pay 200 rupees. And here you can see better, when the quantity of sugar is increasing from 1 kg to 3 kg, 3 kg to 5 kg, when the quantity of sugar is increasing, at the same time, the cost of sugar is also increasing. You can see better. Weight of sugar is increasing from 1 to 3 and 3 to 5 kg. At the same time, the cost of sugar is also increasing from 40 rupees to 120 rupees, 120 rupees to 200 rupees. Here we can say that both the quantities are increasing. Yes, if they increase together in such a manner and second quantity is some y, and the corresponding values of x, let me write like x1, x2 and x3, and the corresponding value of y will write like y2, y1, y2 and y3. Now we find the ratio of x1 by y1, and we find the ratio of x2 by y2, and find the ratio of x3 by y3, and we'll see what we are going to get. x1 by y1 1 by 40, x2 by y2 3 by 120, x3 by y3 5 by 200, 5 by 200. We are going to find x by y. We are going to find x by y. Yes. Simplify better. 1 by 40, no common factor other than 1. 3 by 120, 3 common factor. 3 ones are 3 4s are 12, 3 0 0. 5 by 200, 5 is the common factor. 5 ones are 5, 5 4s are 20, 5 0 0. Yes, I got here 1 by 40, 1 by 40, 1 by 40. It means what they said here, such a manner that the ratio of the corresponding values remains constant. The ratio of the corresponding values. Here the corresponding values of x and y are x1 by 1, x2 by 2, x3 by 3. The ratio of the corresponding values x1 by y1, x2 by y2, x3 by y3, their ratio gives a constant, remains the same constant. Here you can see same constant 1 by 40, 1 by 40, 1 by 40. So we can say that x by y, when we find the ratio of x by y, which gives some constant k, 1 by 40, 1 by 40, 1 by 40 same. And how that k is positive number, plus 1 by 40 only, it is the positive number. X by y is equal to k. So when both quantities are increasing, when you find the ratio of their corresponding values, those corresponding values remains the same constant. X by y is equal to that constant k. It is a positive value. So when the corresponding values remains the same, then we can say that the two quantities x and y, we can say that x is directly proportional to y. X is directly proportional to y. It means when the x is increasing, y also increase. So when their corresponding values ratio is same, then we can say that x is directly proportional to y. So what is the formula we can write over here? We got finally x1 by y1. The ratio of their corresponding values equal. I said no. x1 by y1 is equal. x2 by y2 is equal. x3 by y3 is equal. Some constant. The ratio of their corresponding values is same. Then only it is in direct proportion. Direct proportion. Let me take two more quantities and verify. Let me take here quantity of petrol and diesel. Quantity of petrol. One quantity I'm taking quantity of petrol in terms of liter I'm taking. Here I'm taking second quantity is cost of petrol. Cost of petrol. This I'm going to measure in terms of rupees. I'm going to measure in terms of rupees. Here you can see better. If you want to purchase 10 liters of petrol, we have to pay 1000 rupees. How many rupees? 1000 rupees. And if you want to purchase 5 liters of petrol, we have to pay 500 rupees it seems. If you want to purchase 3 liters of petrol, you have to pay 300 rupees. How many rupees? 300 rupees. And what we can observe here, sir, in the first quantity, when the liters, number of liters is decreasing, when the number of liters is decreasing, its cost is also decreasing. 1000 to 500, 500 to 1000, both are decreasing. What is happening here? Not only increasing, if the both quantities decrease together also, the ratio of their corresponding values remains the same constant. It seems remains the constant, means by finding the ratio we'll get one constant it seems. Here we can see both the quantities are decreasing. So let me take the first quantity is x and the second quantity is y. The x corresponding values will treat like x1, x2, x3, and the y corresponding values will take y1, y2, y3. Now we will find the ratio of their corresponding values. x1 by y1, x2 by y2, x3 by y3. You'll find the ratio of corresponding values. x1 by y1 ratio means comparison by division method. Next we can write x2 by y2, x3 by y3. You'll find the ratio of corresponding values. 10 by 1000. x2 by y2, 5 by 500. Next 3 by 300. So let us write the simplest form. 1010 cancel. Answer is 1 by 100. 5 ones are 5 tens are 50. 5 0 0. 5 is the common factor. The answer is 1 by 100. 3 ones are 3 3 0 0. Yes, 1 by 100. You can see there. Ratio of corresponding values remains the constant. What is the constant here? 1 by 100. How that 1 by 100? It is the positive value. It is the positive value. So here we got x1 by y1 is equal to x2 by y2 is equal to x3 by y3 is equal to what? Some constant. What is the constant value? 1 by 100. It is the positive value. So when the ratio of the corresponding values is the same constant, then we can say that the first quantity is directly proportional to second quantity. What you observed better here? We observed, sir, you are taking two quantities. When the first quantity is increasing, second quantity is also increased. When both the quantities increase together, the ratio of their corresponding values remains the same. Then we can say that the first quantity is directly proportional to second quantity. Not only increasing together, if both quantities are decreasing together, the ratio of their corresponding values is also remains the same. If the ratio of their corresponding values remains the same, then we can say that the first quantity is directly proportional to second quantity. So directly proportional means either both quantities will increase and gives the same constant, or both the quantities will decrease, their corresponding ratio gives the same constant. Now let us see some applications based on this direct proportion. See what is the definition? Two quantities x and y are said to be direct proportion. So when these two quantities x and y are going to set direct proportion, it seems if they increase or decrease together in such a manner that the ratio of corresponding values remains the constant. Two quantities x and y are said to be direct proportion when two quantities increase together or when two quantities decrease together, the ratio of their corresponding values remains the same constant. In such case, x by y is equal to k. The ratio of the two quantities gives the same constant. Here x corresponding we can take x1, x2, x3, and y corresponding we can take y1, y2, y3. Hope it is clear. Yes, children, let us see some examples based on the direct proportion. Here we have fourth one from exercise 13.1. From exercise 13.1, here we have 4th and 7th. Let us see these two. A machine in a soft drink factory filled 840 bottles. How many bottles? It filled 840 bottles in 6 hours. How many bottles it filled in 1 hour? So first we need to identify the two quantities. Here the two quantities are, one is number of bottles and the next one is 6 hours, 1 hour. It means time. Here the two quantities are number of bottles and time. Let us see solution better. Let me write here two quantities. One is number of bottles and other one is time. So time we are going to measure here in terms of hours. Now you can see better. The first quantity will take x and the second quantity will take y. Now you can see there 840 bottles. How many bottles? 840 bottles. How much time it will take? 6 hours. So it is going to fill 840 bottles in 6 hours it seems. How many bottles it will take? Number of bottles. How many bottles it fill in 1 hour? It fill in 1 hour. Here you can see the time is decreasing. 6 to 1, the time is decreasing from 6 hours to 1 hour. So when the time is decreasing, automatically number of bottles also will decrease. In 6 hours, if they fill 840 bottles, in 1 hour, less than 840 they can fill. Less than 840 means decrease. Here the time is decreasing. Yes, here the time is decreasing. At the same time, number of bottles are also decreasing. Number of bottles are also decreasing. You can see better. In 6 hours, if they fill 840 bottles, in 1 hour they can fill less than 840 means value is going to decrease. Both the quantities are decreasing. I said when both quantities are increasing or both quantities are decreasing. Here it is decreasing first quantity, second quantity is decreasing. When both quantities are decreasing or when both quantities are increasing, it is called direct proportion. I said. What I said? Direct proportion. So the above problem means, so it is indirect proportion. It is direct proportion. So it is direct proportion. And you know what will happen if the terms are in direct proportion? The terms corresponding to first quantity x will take x1 and x2. The terms corresponding to y will take y1 and y2. When the terms are, both the terms are decreasing or both the terms are increasing, their corresponding values remains the same ratio. Remains the same ratio. What we know better? We know that when the terms are in direct proportion, the ratio of their corresponding values remains the same. With the help of that, we will try to find this unknown value x2. So x1 840 by y1 6 is equal to x2. We don't know x2 only. y2 is 1. You can simplify it now. 6 1 is 6. 6 1 is 6. 2 left. 6 4 is 24. 6 0 0. 6 4 24. 6 0 0. I got here 140. So 140 by 1 is equal to x2 by 1. Then you can go for cross multiplication. 140 into 1. 140 is equal to 1 into x2. x2 equal to how much I got? 140 I got. So what is the conclusion? 1 hour. In 1 hour time, they can fill how many bottles? 140 bottles. Yes. 1 hour. It fill. Yes. In 1 hour. In 1 hour it fill. How many? 140 bottles. It fill 140 bottles. In 1 hour it fill 140 bottles. See here, 6 hours 840, 1 hour 140, decreasing here. So like that you can find the unknown values where they are in direct proportion. Now we have one more, you can see but here one more. Suppose 2 kg of sugar contain 9 into 10 power 6 crystals. 9 into 10 power 6 crystals. How many sugar crystals are there in 5? How many 5 kg of sugar and 1.2 kg of sugar? Here the two quantities are, first one is sugar, weight of sugar. First quantity will take weight of sugar. Sorry. First quantity is weight of sugar in terms of kg. And second one is number of crystals. Number of crystals. So these are the two quantities, and the first quantity will take x and the second quantity will take y. They said 2 kg of sugar. Number of kg how many? 2 kg of sugar contains 9 into 10 power 6. 9 into 10 power 6 crystals. How many sugar crystals are there? How many sugar crystals are there in 5 kg of sugar? In 5 kg of sugar. And also they are asking how many sugar crystals are there in 1.2 kg of sugar. 1.2 kg of sugar. Yes. Here you can see better. Number of kg are 2 to 5. 2 to 5. Number of kg are increased. When the number of kg increase, automatically the number of crystals also increase. Both will be increased. So it is in what? Direct proportion. It is in direct proportion. So this will take like x1, y1, and x2, y2. So here the y2 is unknown value. We need to find the value of y2. So we can write it is direct proportion. It is direct proportion. So because both quantities are increased. See, when the sugar quantity is increasing, automatically number of crystals also increase. So both the quantities are increasing, it is in direct proportion. So their corresponding values ratio remains the same, x2 by y2. So 2 by 9 into 10 power 6 is equal to, what is x2 beta? 5 by y2. Now you can find the y2, 2 into y2. 2 into y2 is equal to 5 into 9 into 10 power 6. Now we need to find the y2. y2 is equal to 5 into 9 into 10 power 6 by how much? 2. By 2. Now we can write here y2 is equal to 5 into 9 into 10 power 6. I can write 10 power 5 into 10. I can write 10 power 5 plus 1. I can 6 only. Why sir? To simplify this, 2 1s are 2 5s are 10. Now I can write this one is y2 is equal to, you can see better, 5 power 1, 5 power 1, 5 power 2. I can write 5 power 2 into 9 into 10 power 5. So no need of this by 1, no need of this by 2. So this is the answer, y2 value. At the same time, we can go with this also comparison, 1.2 and this one, 1.2. And this also we need to find the unknown value. Yes. How can you find that unknown value? See here, 2 to 1.2, 2 to, now this both will compare. This both will compare. These both are the known values. By using these known values, I got unknown value. Again by using these two known values, we will find this unknown value. So 2 to 1.2, sugar quantity is decreasing. When the sugar quantity is decreasing, automatically number of crystals also decrease. When both quantities are decreasing, it is in direct proportion. So if it is in direct proportion, how can we find? You can see better x3, y3. By using these known quantities, I am trying to find this unknown quantity y3. So their corresponding values, ratios should be same. We can write here now to find y3. To find y3, I am taking the help of these two known values to find this unknown value. What is the ratio beta? x1 by y1. x1 by y1 is equal to x3 by y3. So what is x1 by y1? 2 by 9 into 10 power 6 is equal to, the x3 is 1.2 by y3. You can simplify this. 2 into y3. You can write here 2 into y3 is equal to 1.2 into 9 into 10 power 6. And y3 we can write y3 is equal to 1.2 into 9 into 10 power 6 by how much? By 2. Now we can write here 2 1s are 2 0 0.26 12. So y3 is equal to 0.6 into 9, we can write 5.4 into 10 power 6. So when the sugar quantity is 1.2 kg, number of crystals available there 5.4 into 10 power 6. When the sugar quantity is 5 kg, number of crystals available there, y2 value is 5 power 2 into 9 into 10 power 5. That is the way you can find the unknown values. Children, let's see some more applications based on direct proportion. Here we have ninth problem. A 5 meter 60 centimeter high vertical pole casts a shadow 3 meter and 20 centimeter long. Find at the same time the length of shadow cast by another pole 10 meter and 50 centimeter height. The height of pole which casts a shadow 5 meter long. So here we need to identify the two quantities. Here the two quantities. One is height of the pole and other one is length of the shadow. Length of the shadow. Here the comparison between height of the pole and length of the shadow. So like right here, first quantity is height of pole. and second quantity is length of shadow. Length of shadow. Let me take the first quantity x and second quantity is y. What they said, 5 meter 60 centimeter, both are different units, converted to same units. 5 meter 60 centimeter we can write as 5.6 meter. So we try to measure height in terms of meter. And 3 meter 20 centimeter we can write 3.2 meter, 3.2 meter beta. And see there, when the height of the pole is 5.6 meter, its length of the shadow is 3.2 meter. At the same time, find the length of the shadow. They are asking at the same time the length of the shadow cast by another pole 10 meter, another pole 10 meter 50 centimeter height. Here they give height better. So what is the height of the pole? 10 meter 50 centimeter. We can written as 10.5 meter. 10.5 meter height of pole. We have to find length of the shadow. They are asking the length of the shadow. Find the length of the shadow cast by another pole and whose height is 10 meter 50 centimeter height. So we have to find what is the length of the shadow of 10.5 meter vertical pole. 10.5 meter vertical pole. And the next case they said the height of pole which casts a shadow 5 meter long. So if the length of the shadow is 5 meter, what is the height of the pole? What is the height of the pole they are asking to find? So here we have two unknown values. And these two are the known values. With the help of these two known values, first we find this unknown value. Again by using these two known values, we will find this unknown value. Now you can see better here. Imagine once when the height of the pole is increasing, automatically the length of the shadow is also increased from 5.6 to 10.5. The height of the pole is increasing. When the height of the pole increase, its length of the shadow is also increased. So here we can see the first quantity is increasing, at the same time second quantity is also increased. When both quantities are increasing, their corresponding values remains the same. It is about direct proportion. So we can write it is direct proportion. What we can write with a direct proportion? Why? Because when the height of the pole increase, automatically the length of the shadow is also increased. It means both the quantities are increasing. When both quantities are increasing or both quantities are decreasing, it is in direct proportion. The corresponding values of x will take x1, x2, and the corresponding values of y will take y1, y2. So when they are in direct proportion, their corresponding values remains the same constant. So what we can write beta? We know that the ratio of corresponding values is same. x1 by y1 is equal to x2 by y2. What is x1 by y1? It is in direct proportion, so the ratio of the corresponding values are equal. By using this known values x1 by y1, we will try to find the known value y2. So what is x1 beta? 5.6. 5.6 by y1 is what? 3.2 is equal to x2 10.5 by y2 is y2 only. So point after one digit. So we can neglect the point and we can write 56 by 32 beta. How sir? 5.6 we can write 56 by 10 beta. 3.2 we can write 32 by 10. Again 10 cancel, we get same. So when they are like decimals, we can avoid the point. And this will be as this 10.5 by y2. Now you can see better this one. 4 table possible. 4 8s are 32. 4 1s are 4. 1 left. 4 4s are 16. 14 by 8. Again 2 table possible. 2 4s are 8. 2 7s are 14. 2 7s are 14. So what I got here? 7 by 4. 7 by 4 is equal to 10.5 by y2. 10.5 by y2. Now find y2 beta. 7 into y2. Let me write here 7 into y2 is equal to 10.5 into 4 and y2 is equal to 4 5 is 20, 0 to carry, 4 0 0 2, 4 1 is 4. How much it is? 42.0 means 42 into 75 transpose by 7. 7 1 is 7 6 is 42. So y is equal to how much? 6. I got y2 is equal to how much? But 6. It means when the height of the pole is increasing from 5.6 to 10.5, when the height of the pole increasing, you can see length of the shadow is also increased. Now, by using these two known values x1 and y1, let us find the unknown value x3. Yes. Now we can write here to find x3. To find x3, we can take the corresponding values remains the same ratio x1 by y1. You can write here x1 by y1 is equal to x3 by y3. x3 by y3. What is x1 by y1? 5.6 by 3.2 is equal to x3 by y3. x3 is the unknown value, y3 is 5. Yes. Now both are like this was. As I said, you can neglect the point and you can write x3 by 5. x3 by 5. You can see then 8 4 is 32, 8 7 is 56. 7 by 4 I got. Then you can go for cross multiplication. 7 into 5. Yes, 7 into 5 is equal to x3 into 4. 7 5 is 35 is equal to x3. This into 4 you can transpose by 4. Yes. 4 8 is 32. Point 3 left 30. 4 7 is 28. I got 8.7 is equal to how much? y3. You can see that 8.7 is x3, x3 value. X3 is equal to 8.7. It means shadow is increasing from 3.2 to 5. When the length of the shadow is increasing, we observe here height of the pole is also increased. When shadow length is increasing, height of the pole also increased from 5.6 to 8.7. Let us see one more. A loaded truck travels 14 km in 25 minutes. If the speed remains the same, if the truck is maintaining the same speed, how far can it travel in 5 hours? Here the two quantities are distance, travels 14 kilometers distance, 25 minutes time. The comparison is going on between distance traveled by truck and time taken. Yes. Solution. The two quantities are distance, which in terms of kilometer, and next one is time, which we take in terms of minutes. Right. So distance 14 kilometers. In how many minutes? 25 minutes. Now they are asking if it maintains same distance with same speed, how far? How much distance it covers in 5 hours? Can you tell me 5 hours is equal to how many minutes? 5 hours. 5 hour nothing but 60 minutes. We can write 5 6 is 30, 1 0. 300 minutes. How many minutes? 300 minutes. If the time taken by truck is 300 minutes, how much distance it covers in 300 minutes? They are asking to find. You can see better here. Time is increasing from 25 minutes to 300 minutes. When the time is increasing, if it is maintaining the same speed, when the time is increasing, automatically the distance covered by truck is also increased. When the time is increasing, the distance traveled by truck is also increased. The reason it is maintaining the same speed. So when both quantities are increasing, it is in direct proportion. It is direct proportion. It is direct proportion. The first quantity will take x and second quantity is y. The corresponding values of first quantity x1, x2 and the second quantity are y1, y2. Now we know when it is direct proportion, the corresponding values remains same constant. The ratio of the corresponding values x1 by y1 is equal to x2 by y2. 14 by 25 is equal to x2 by how much? 300. Now let us find the value of x2. I mean distance traveled by truck in 300 minutes. So we can write here 14 into 300 is equal to x2 into 25. So to find the x2, this into 25 can transpose better. 14 into 300 is equal to how much? x2 into if I transpose by 25. See beta 5 5 is 25, 5 6 is 30, 5 0 0. And next we write the leftover part here. 14 into 60. 14 into 60 by how much? 5 is equal to x2. 5 1 5 1 5 1 0 5 2 10. 10 2 10. You can multiply this both. 14 into 12 is equal to how much? x2. 12 4 is 48. 8 4 carry. 12 1 12 plus 4 16. 168. x2 is equal to how much? 168. 168 kilometers. When the time is increasing, the distance covered by truck is also increased. We can write now distance in 300 minutes is equal to, what is the distance it covered? 168 kilometers. Like that we can find the unknown values with the concept of direct proportion. Yes, today class we learned what is ratio, what is proportion, what is direct proportion. Ratio nothing but comparison of the quantities by division method. Proportion means the equality of two ratios is called proportion. And direct proportion means when both quantities are increasing or both quantities are decreasing, if the corresponding values remains the same, then the quantities are in direct proportion. And also we solved some of the applications based on the direct proportion. Hope this is clear to everyone. Based on this knowledge, you can try to complete the remaining problems from exercise 13.1. Thank you. We'll meet next class.